Thanks for joining me again, Cancer. This is your horoscope, albeit brief, for November 2019. And what's strongly activated as soon as we look at the chart this month is this fifth house, sixth house, seventh house. Fifth house is your creativity, children, your inner child. Sixth house is your workplace practices, the work that you do. Venus quickly moves into this area on the 2nd of November. And this is a very lucky component, especially having Jupiter here, having been there for some time. This is a lovely combination of planets. But you'll notice here in your fifth house of creativity, the Sun and the retrograde Mercury. And that retrograde Mercury is going to be sitting in this part of your horoscope for some time. It's not particularly a favourable planet for you. So you may be saddled with some worries or concerns over the issues related to what Mercury governs. Mercury governs your third house of communications, mental activity, and your 12th house, which is expenses, losses, foreign journeys. Also, it has to do with spiritual discipline. So you've got to be careful, for example, with speculation. You mustn't speculate when the planet ruling the 12th house is associated with any other house. It can indicate losses. So you may be a little impulsive at this time. You need to take your time, investigate everything that's available to you. You see here the triangular aspect between the node, Neptune, and the Sun and Mercury here, showing some sort of idealism that may not match to practicality. Mercury is also always related to review when it's retrograde, rethinking things over, maybe considering plan B if you're a little bit concerned about how things are going to work out over the ensuing weeks and months. Nevertheless, I really do like this combination of Venus. Venus for you is ruling your 11th house. That's gains. Notice the moon moves into this area, into the unstable Uranus vicinity around the 11th. And that, because the moon is your ruler, it's very, very important that we look at its phase here. And you notice here on the 12th, the full moon, and that is also going to be influenced by this retrograde Mercury. So I think there is a little bit of worry, a little bit of confusion. This 11th house has to do with friends. So that may also be dragged into the picture. 12th house of losses, sleep. You may need more sleep around the 14th and 15th. And you're definitely more nostalgic and emotionally reactive over things that should be dealt with in a more intellectual fashion. That could override this retrogression. Keep your eye on Mars as well, which has been transiting this 4th house. That's problematic in some ways for your family life. That was also there last month, so I've already touched on that. And especially when the moon makes its contact or aspect felt, such as we see here when the moon is in the square aspect from Cancer to Libra right now, there on the 17th, that can present some problems in your domestic sphere. For those of you that are trying to work some stuff out with mama, your mother, your dearest, this 4th house of the horoscope having Mars here specifically relates to mother, and the moon, as well as ruling you, is the natural ruler of one's mother. Fortunately, after the 19th, you see there's a slipping away of that energy into this 5th house. Mercury also goes stationary, so it means it's ready to take what you've learned through this revisionary process. In this area as well, if you're a parent, this will have a lot to do with your children, love affairs. If you're in a new love affair or something like that, this could have been a period of deep thought. The stationary and then the direct movement of Mercury, there you have it on the 22nd, means that you're clearer on matters. And with the movement of dynamic, active, physical Mars that we see here, then it's likely you're going to make some decisive moves. That, I believe, will also be augmented by the transit of the moon here. A nicer period for you. Directional strength for the moon in the 4th house around the 23rd and 24th. There it is. On the 24th itself, 25th, making contact with Mars and Mercury. You're going to have a lot to talk about, but try to keep it contained. You don't want to let your emotions get the better of you at this time, especially if you have unruly children or you're dealing with younger people. And interestingly, you will find, here's Venus moving to your 7th house, beautiful to soften up those relationship issues that you've had. New moon in the 6th house shows that the pattern of your day-to-day work, the way you've been approaching your routine and your scheduling, is also due for a positive change. The new moon, of course, means turning over of a new leaf, a new chapter in your life. And that's all indicated by this very, very nice new moon. And then that new moon energy taking the company of Venus and Jupiter here, bringing that into your relationships, even though it's a little bit somber here with Saturn. Saturn is your marital planet of relationships. So I think there's good reason to see astrologically why you're going to reconcile a lot of things here. Pardon me. And by the end of the month, feel as though that you're on a better even keel with those that you love and you deal with on a day-to-day basis. So there it is. It's very quick, very short. I call it the Oracle Express. Join me next month, but in the meantime, don't forget to extrapolate on this at astrology.com.au, my website. Please subscribe. We'd love to have your subscription. We love to have your messages here because we can share a little bit there just on the house. And if, of course, you'd like a more detailed reading, those deeper karmic issues, you can contact me here as well, and I'll make it happen for you. Till next month, take care, Cancer. Bye-bye now.